Hey guys, it's Goose here. This video is my Toad Highlands 6:22:02 in Speed Golf. Mario Golf on the Nintendo 64, of course. It's the new world record, so I figured let's just make this video take a look, and I'll go over the run hole by hole. So here we go. So hole 1, we got 4-mile-an-hour wind. A lot of people would wait out like 20-mile-an-hour wind, or like 15 or so, just so they could drive the green. And I don't like doing that. It's not the most consistent thing. I prefer just getting runs going. By waiting out wind to drive the green and make an eagle, you're hoping at like a 15 or 17 second hole. And that's only if you play it well. And the odds of getting that kind of wind are just pretty low. And you can see here I got a 22-second hole. That's pretty good. I'm completely fine with a 22-second hole on most runs. You know, you're kind of hoping on Toad Highlands you're going to get a really good hole later on, and there's no need to force it to be the first hole. Anyway, second hole here, just land on the green. A little bit further than I would have liked. It's kind of hard to judge clubs when the wind is fast and you have rain. But I nailed the putt anyways, so it didn't really matter in the end. That was like a 14-second hole. That's pretty good. Anytime you get a par 3 below 15 seconds, that's like really, really solid. Now, hole 3, and I couldn't drive the green. And again, generally, on Toad Highlands, you want to drive the green. But I didn't do it here. You know, that's it. The hole's 316 yards, and you drive 313, so generally speaking, you should be able to drive the green if you have, like, any wind that's not in your face. So it's a tiny little bit of a time loss, but again, 18-second hole, so it's not really a time loss. Because when you drive the green, you're not going to get much faster than that. Landing in the bunker is a good alternative, and I almost rolled out there for eagle, so that was a pretty good quick hole. Hole 4, land in the rough there. That's generally the strat, and you want to be able to land the green, which can be tricky because you're often far away, and the hole is often towards the front of the green. I would have liked a yard further, and the shot would have been amazing, but that's fine. 26-foot putt, and I actually missed it. I missed 2 putts on this run, and I mean that's at least 3 to 4 seconds each putt, maybe 2 to 3 only, but I mean 4 seconds total is a good guess. So I could definitely see this run going into the 610s. Hole 5, pretty standard. This is another one you could drive and get good wind. But I got okay wind, so just driving in the rough is fine. And then you just have a little short approach here. One thing you definitely want to do is get every approach, every second shot, like within 5 feet, because that saves so much time compared to longer putts. Metal Yoshi posted a whole thing about putting and how much time you can win or lose on putts, and it's pretty insane. You could make the same putt, and your putt goes different speeds, and it could vary up to 2 seconds per putt, which is pretty crazy, considering you're going to putt at least like 15 times on a run, if not 18 or more. So there we go, hole 6, 157 is really, really good. Like, you really can't complain about that. I think I've had like a 153, maybe even a 150, but anything sub 2 is good. And the way the course runs is like, you sort of split them up into 3 sets of 6 holes, and the front and back 6 holes on Toad Highlands have 2 par 3s in them. So if you can get those sub 2, and then the middle 6 has 2 par 5s and 0 par 3s, so that's going to be a lot longer. And if you get the first and back hole 6 hole sets in less than 2 minutes, then you have like 220 for the middle 6 holes, and that's kind of what I aim towards getting. So everything's going well here. That hole 7 was actually pretty good. It's a tough hole, and it can take a long time because there's nowhere really easy to drive it. So didn't quite make the green here, and this putt didn't go in either. So even though it didn't count as a missed putt, it kind of is. So there's like a 3rd missed putt on this course. 29-33 is not what you want at all on hole 8. Hole 9, no wind. This one can go pretty well. You kind of want like a tilted approach shot here. So your club is aiming right at the hole, generally speaking, even though you have that fade. And because you're shooting out of the rough and not going as far as the ball should be going, because you're shooting out of the rough, the line usually ends up being just perfect. And I nailed this putt. 312, so on pace for a 624, 625. That's pretty decent. But it could have been a lot better, you know. I could have driven hole 1 and hole 3 and eagled hole 8, but I didn't. And still run a really good pace here. Hole 10, you want to be making eagle. With Metal Mario, there's kind of no circumstance where you can't, even though if you have like wind in your face and rain, it can be tricky. But the hole's only 250, you drive 313, so even with insane wind in your face, you should be able to do it, even though it's hard. 17 seconds on a par 4 is like really, really, really good. You can't beat that. If I could take a 20-second par 4 anytime, I would. Hole 11, I figured with a tailwind, it was only 7, but I might have been able to drive the green. I was wrong. Driving the green would have saved a lot of time. This hole is really, like hole 7, it's a par 4 that's very hard to get into the low 20s. But I did an okay job here. I could have got that approach closer, but the rain, you know, the putt was okay. So there we have it. 24 seconds on that hole is completely acceptable. Hole 12 now. No wind and rain, so I figured I want to nail the fairway. This shot is actually kind of a risk because the ball can roll a good deal there and lose a lot of time, but I figured with the rain slowing the roll down, it was probably worth doing. And then I just stepped up and hit this approach. Pretty nice and tight. Take that any day of the week. And just step up and make that eagle putt.
Ready, go.
Hole 13. This one can be really tricky to judge the distance on. It's uphill, and the way you shoot it, you're kind of landing in a very small portion of the green, even though it doesn't look like it. I would have liked it to land on the green itself and a little bit further in, but I didn't do that, and I had this big 36-foot putt, which I missed. So there's another putt I missed in this run. Another 1 or 2 seconds lost there. But a 17-second par 3 is tolerable. Hole 14 can be one you can do really fast. Landing it in kind of the downslope of the rough there generally stops it really quickly. And if you get a good approach shot like this one, then you can really get a low 20, and that's what you want on a par 4. 21 seconds is really good. Hole 15, I had tailwind, so with a 350-yard par 4, you could drive this with Metal Mario. I thought I gave myself a good shot driving it. The fairway's really narrow, and I missed it. You can see I landed in the rough there. It's a tough hole to drive, especially one that you don't get to drive very often. And then I'm so not used to that shot that I just missed it and put it right in the rough. But fortunately, I clutched that chip in. And you'll see me miss the accuracy bar 2 to the right. When you're approaching, the accuracy bar can also kind of act as a aim bar. Like, it can change your aim drastically. So you can use that to your advantage, which I did there. On hole 16, I like driving it into the valley if it's not going to roll too long. Like, if you have enough power and the wind isn't crazy in your face, you can do it, and I think it's a good strategy. I know a lot of people kind of really have varying opinions on where to drive it on hole 16. But yeah, I like going in the valley because you can step it up, the second approach shot stops quickly, and you can just drill in that eagle putt.
Ready, go.
Hole 17, you just gotta read the wind and the hole location and play it. This hole location is actually good because it's a flat one, so you're not going to have any of that ball roll, and the putt is going to be fairly easier. And 6 minutes 36 hundredths. I knew I had a shot at beating my PB of 6:23, but hole 18 is tough. It's hard to get a sub 23 hole 18. Oftentimes you're getting at 25 or 26 seconds on hole 18. So I didn't have the record in the bag here, but no wind certainly helped. I knew I had to stick this approach shot close, and really all came down to that 4-iron out of the rough there. But I nailed that really close, and that pretty much sealed the deal. Step up, make that 7-footer, and there we go, 622.06. That's the new record for Toad Highlands speed golf. 20 under par. There were at least 3 putts I missed I could have hit, so I think something like 615 certainly is realistic. I'll probably go for it a little bit here and there. It's one of the more fun courses and kind of gets you warmed up when you're going to go for the harder courses run. So there you have it, Toad Highlands 622.06.